All right, so let's talk a little bit about the shame-based mindset. The shame-based mindset is a very important one because most people, even if you haven't ever been on a diet, which if you're reading this or watching this, I doubt that that's the case, but even if you haven't, you probably can relate to a shame-based mindset. That's simply doing something because you feel ashamed in order to try to make shame go away. So sadly, for a lot of people, when they diet, they're doing so from shame. They either have some belief that their body isn't okay as it is, or that they need to somehow be better, change their eating habit in order to get better, some version of I'm not good enough as I am, and that's shame. And so what happens is so many people, when dieting from shame, keep it secret. They keep their experiences of being on that diet a secret because that's what shame would have us do. Shame doesn't want to come out to the open. It wants to be held tight and close because the belief is whatever I'm holding is not something I want to show to the world. So many people when they're dieting, they don't talk about their experiences. You know, we all go around laughing with our girlfriends about, I wish I could have that. Boy, I wish I could have that cupcake. Haha, it's not funny. Most people who are dieting are struggling and suffering. Their belief about themselves is usually low in that, I should say, low self-esteem. But it's not a high vibrating belief. It's a low vibrating belief. And it's something that causes them pain. But nobody's talking about it. And we're not really being true about how we feel, both in the act of dieting and why we're dieting in the first place. Dieting leads a lot of people showing this highlight reel, on social media and to the world of, look at me, everything's going so great. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, there's a lot of pain and self-doubt. And there's a lot of low self-worth and a disbelief in our inherent worthiness and inherent right to be loved. And so when we do anything from a shame-based mindset, what I know is we're really setting up like a house of cards, something that inevitably will crumble and fall. When we create long-term sustainable behavior, we must do so first from a foundation, much like building a house. If a house doesn't have a sturdy foundation, it will sink, it will fall, much like the house of cards. Well, the foundation for sustained behavior change is self-respect and compassion. If you are not in a place where you're doing your behaviors because you love, respect, and have compassion for yourself, the behavior will not sustain itself. Because anybody, as we talked about in another mindset, that's working for someone who's cruel or harsh to them, eventually will sabotage. So we must set a foundation of self-respect. We must set a foundation of compassion for how this is not the easiest path, and it's doable. This is not without pain, and we're worth it. This journey is not without its struggle, and it can be one of the most amazing journeys of our life. That foundation allows us to keep going when we have the twists and turns in the change process that, as we've learned, is not linear. It allows us to keep going. It is the solid foundation. And so we must turn shame into self-respect. If self-love seems too far away, or too out there, or like a concept that can never be obtained, then I ask you just to show your self-respect until you get to a place where you feel like you can be in alignment with yourself from a place of love. We must show ourselves the respect we would show somebody that we loved unconditionally, but we must do so because, as I've said, behavior that comes from shame is something that will not sustain itself. Imagine being in a relationship with somebody who shamed you. How long would you want to be in that relationship? Not long. So if you want to create a new relationship with food and with body image, one that lasts a lifetime, it has to be one that isn't predicated on shame. Start with self-respect, move into self-love.